and welcome to This Car Pod.
I'm Filippo.
I'm Nick.
Nick's filling in here because Kennan's out of town for Thanksgiving. The podcast is a day late. Thanksgiving screwed up everything. It's a big deal.
Everything.
But the biggest deal of all, Filippo, you want to tell him?
After months of consideration,
Yeah.
2 months ago, Doug bought a 993 Turbo.
I bought a 993 Turbo. It happened a while ago. Okay, yeah. I've been on the pod joking. Oh, I want to. I'd already gotten one, but some interesting things have happened. I realized from this.
Please.
The people became irate that I wouldn't consider their 993 Turbo. Like I was looking at.
I can see that.
I was in if you have a big Instagram account, you get DMs from people you follow, but then there's like a section of people that if you don't follow them, it goes into some request because they don't want people sending weird stuff to celebrities. Not that I'm one, but Instagram.
Sure.
Okay, so I go into that request folder I never check that folder ever.
That's how you get invitations to review the Aspark Owl.
Like, you get cool stuff in that.
I go into that folder the other day. There's a guy who's been hammering me for weeks. Here's my 993 Turbo. Why will you not consider? Why have you not replied to me? Why have you not bought my 993 Turbo? I'm like, oh my God, Jesus. So I bought a 993 Turbo.
How is it?
It's good.
Yeah. What color is it?
Now, I do want to say something. Go to the shot that shows just them. I want to say something. You guys could have known that I bought my 993 Turbo. Go get that license plate. The day I bought the car, which I think was 8 weeks ago, I took this was the original license plate on the car, and I put it on the pod set. And if anybody had bothered to do a VinWiki, is that how VinWiki works?
Nobody knows.
I think it's VIN-based.
Well, you can usually put a plate in and it turns into a VIN. You would have known. You would have returned to a 1996 Porsche 911 Turbo and you would have said,
Fascinating.
Yeah, there was a hidden trick. And from now on, anytime we buy a car, we'll put a hidden trick somewhere in the podcast set.
Ooh. I'm not agreeing to this.
Yeah, because you're never going to buy a car.
How many miles have you done in your 993 Turbo?
I bought the car. Car had 58.5 or something when I bought it. I'm at like 60 now. It's like 1,500 miles. I'm taking it to Farrah's on Monday.
Whoa.
It's been to LA 5 times. That'll be 6. I love it. I love using it for regular driving. I'm surprised how much I missed having a sports car that isn't quite so attention grab, and just a lot. Like even the 4 GT, which is sort of the most usable sports car I have, it's a lot. It's low. It's rough. Riding. People freak out when they see it at gas stations. It's nice to have a car that literally nobody cares about or pays attention to, including Nick.
Other than Porsche files, who I'm sure lose it. No one ever spotted you in the 2 months you've been driving this thing around? I saw you once on the freeway, but and you're pretty. I mean, you got no tint, and you're a big guy. Like it's very clearly you.
I actually took it to a couple of car events, and obviously people there then kind of knew who because I'm, I drive the car and I'm with my fellow journalists, some of whom I actually personally know. I wasn't trying to conceal it, but no, I guess not. And never was
that's
the thing.
wild. That shows you how below the radar it really is.
Yeah, literally nobody cares about this car, except if you go on Renlist. There are people who really care about this car, and I'm sure they're going to hate me dearly for owning one. Every time I buy a car, it's like, Doug bought one. He's not a real enthusiast of the car. And it's like, all right.
Well, I think Renlist might change their mind and realize you are a Porsche guy. You are one of them. And they're going to give you like a special badge or like font color option on Renlist that'll tell everyone you're an OG.
I'm not a Porsche guy.
Hey, how many Porsches do you own now?
Well, I've had the same number of Porsches as Nissans. Do you consider me a Nissan guy?
Sure.
That cannot factually be accurate.
I had a Skyline GTR R32. I had a S Cargo Snail, and I had a Cube.
How many Porsche?
And I've had 3 Porsche
corporate cars.
For years ago, I had a 996 twin turbo for 4 months. And then the Carrera GT, and now this, a 993.
I seem to remember you crashing a Panamera into a tree.
I crashed a 997 into a tree, and I crashed a Panamera into a guy in a 98 Ford Explorer, actually.
So are you counting those or no?
They were company cars.
Oh, yeah.
I also had...
This loophole gets used a lot.
Situation.
Well, it was... Listen, if I had worked for... If I had been able to choose any company car at that time, I wouldn't have chosen Porsche.
Whistler and Diesel tried to use the company car argument with no success, so I think you need to save it.
Speaking of, guess what I did at the dealership when I bought this car? Dropped 15 G's in sales tax. Sean was sitting with me when I did it, right there at the dealership. And I got to tell you something. I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
Me and Sean went up. Go to the next picture.
Yeah.
It shows Sean. Oh, God. There it is. There's me and Sean. It's bad color G-Wagon next to my great color 911.
Massively different colors, agreed.
And Sean drove me up there. And you know what I realized? We, and by we, I mean the two of us and other people who are our friends, some of whom appear on some of our content, have gone to enormous lengths over a long period of time since we've had cars.
Yeah.
To shadily get cars registered, to avoid smog, to avoid sales tax, to avoid all, right? Like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Man.
No,
the guy with the Land Rover shirt has never taken any shortcuts.
But there was something beautiful about going to the dealer, paying for a local car. The plates came in the mail. The car was serviced. Like so many cars I buy that are neglected and are in some weird registration state, and I then have to figure all this stuff out. And it was so nice. I came home at 2 p.m. this day. The car was in the garage, and I haven't had to do a thing. And I'm like, oh my God, is this what it's like when people buy cars?
Why did the plates not stay on it?
Because the only one plate was with the car, and they didn't want to sell a car with only one plate, and it was the front. So
I agree I haven't bought a car from a dealer in forever.
Yeah.
However, don't you feel like they just concentrate all of the pain in 4 hours? Like you sit there and you're like, I got to talk to the finance manager, and then talk about floor mats, so then like they're going to pull a credit check, and you're like, I don't need to do this.
It did take an unusually long time, considering I showed up with a personal, just to buy the car, the personal check. However, it was amazing. It was so nice. I bought this car from Porsche Santa Clarita, which is up north of LA, and it was just so nice to be able to do this. I agree that it's a painful 4 hours, but the experience that I typically have is, I mean, the Countach. Okay, I got to get it over the border. I got to pay duty, right? Because it was in Canada.
Yeah. Right.
I have to figure out who will accept a Canadian registration, because Canada doesn't do titles. Yeah. Who will accept a Canadian registration for a U.S. title? Then you got to figure out, okay, smog, how are we going to figure out emissions? How are we going to figure, and then it's got to go and get serviced. And guess what? The guy who services Countach is not 2 minutes away at the Porsche dealer. He's in Ohio. So then the car goes there.
Yeah.
And it's like all that legwork. And this, oh my God, I just bought a car and it was easy. What an amazing experience. And that's that. Filippo, are you excited?
I'm excited. I do have a question. The wheel gap, significant, right? Are you going to lower it, slam it?
European
U.S.
ride height.
cars. All right, this is my most controversial take ever. The Renless community, if you're into these cars, people will be astonished by the take. I think the U.S. ride height on 993 turbos looks better. It's enormously tall. The Euro cars were enormously lower. And it's an enormously tall situation.
Yeah.
And on Renless, they refer to it as the SUV ride height. However, my personal belief is that the car has significant overhangs. I mean, they're kind of laughable relative to the wheelbase, actually. And when you lower the car, it really emphasizes the edges, because when you raise the car, it has sort of a more complete overall profile. But when you lower the car, you kind of pull the whole car, stretch it out. And I think it looks silly. Like lowered, ultimately they added bodywork over the years to the original 911, but they didn't add wheelbase. And so it looks a little strange from some angles, but it drives great. And I love using it. And I've got car seats in it, and we cut the leather.
Wow. Well, we're excited that you have it.
Oh, great.
Truly.
Any other modifications planned?
I put in the Porsche radio. Porsche has this CarPlay radio.
Yep. Those are cool.
And that's it. That's all I'm going to do.
It's like 3 inches tall.
It's the smallest screen. Have you seen CarPlay screen?
No.
It's laughable.
But I can picture where it would.
My wife gets it. She's like, this is the smallest screen I've ever seen in my entire. You can't even read the time. Like when I'm looking at it's giving it directions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to like lean over. Like,
interesting.
Well, that's why you got to get the Porsche watch, you know?
Right. Then you don't need the
he
time.
thinks I'm a Porsche guy now.
I mean, are
you not?
Am I a Nissan guy?
You know,
do you consider me a
quacks
Nissan?
like a duck and it looks like a duck?
How many Nissans do you own right now?
Well, I don't own any, but
How many Porsches do you own right now?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, move on to our next news story. Oh, this thing. Genesis comes out with this, which is a concept car called the Wingback. Nick, what is an actual wingback?
The Recaro European option seats with the nice wings on the back, sort of where the seat belts go through, but baller seats. Well, I like them for the B7 RS4, but they came in a lot of great Audi VW products.
That's a wingback, okay? Genesis has stolen the name, but they've made a pretty cool car out of it. This is
we'll allow it.
G90 station wagon.
Yeah.
Which is odd because the G90 is a full-size car, so it'd be like making an S-Class station wagon. Like it's a little bit unusual. This is not a market segment that the automakers are participating in, really.
Well, and if you look at like the Taycan Cross Turismo or the Panamera Cross,
yeah, that's true.
whatever, like it's not doing that well. I guess the RS6 does well. E63 does okay.
Both of those though are the mid-size car.
The new M5, I just like launching a wagon is gonna. It's a tough commercial proposition.
Clearly, though, by the way, I don't think this is going to make production. I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Move on to the next story. Yeah. They've also announced this, which is called the Magma GT.
So Genesis is releasing, and finally, after talking about it for quite a while, doing first drives of the Magma GV60. So the GV60 is their small SUV. The Magma version is like BMW M or Mercedes AMG. As a part of the first drives of the GV60, they also secretly revealed that G90 wingback and the Magma GT.
Which, by the way, is not an EV.
We don't know. They've said that they haven't decided on powertrain, but the Genesis is entering a bunch of racing series. They're going to be in IMSA. They're going to be in some other series that I know nothing about. We'll be transparent here. But they have said in interviews literally this week that they're planning for Magma GT to be a full line of cars. It is not just the homologation models required for the racing series. They're not building just 30 of something to homologate it and be eligible to race. They're planning a full lineup. They've compared it, or at least some articles have compared it to the 911 lineup, where there will be multiple stair-stepped models, some that are like GT3 homologation and some that are maybe a cabriolet version or a regular coupe or whatever. Like this is going to be a full onslaught of sporty products from Genesis.
This is a big deal.
Huge. Yeah.
Because, it's funny. It's funny we knock Honda so much for being conservative, and the Koreans just are not conservative.
No,
they're like, okay, Genesis is out. Now we're ready to make a luxury station wagon concept and do a mid-engine car, and we're going to do all this stuff that like other brands probably should have done. We're just going to do it. The Praetor, that concept car that I did, that off-road concept car, same deal. Yep. Like they see the market segment, they go after it, as opposed to the wait and see approach that so many brands do. And this thing, this is a C8 Corvette rival, right, or an R8 rival,
or something.
It looks. It's not like this is a silly concept car with no mirrors.
No.
Like this is looking not unreasonable to go into production.
Well, they have a GT3 car, right? They've been doing a bunch of work on that to enter racing series. It makes sense that they need to build some, and like this is a great starting point, especially if they plan on expanding that lineup.
Because they have to homologate.
They have to homologate 30 or something like that. Yeah.
Which even then, by the way, even going GT3 racing is like such a, we're trying to reach this certain market segment that is, a kind of an aspirational for a new luxury brand. Well, here's a cool car to do it.
Hyundai has been speaking very publicly in the last couple of weeks about the fact that for the last couple quarters or maybe last year or so, they believe that they're the number 2 most profitable automaker after Toyota. Toyota leads the charge on profitability. They've said that they beat out Volkswagen on profitability. Wow. Genesis has always been a bit of a question mark. They make cars, they do okay, but they've never really kind of found a brand identity. This would be the start of like, what is Genesis? Maybe it's actually a racing brand.
And certainly getting people interested. These sports cars, and Audi proved it with the R8. And some brands have failed doing it, like Lexus and the LFA. Which I consider a failure on its face, but it was also a failure to do what they were trying to do, which was get people into dealerships.
Or like Infiniti has tried to go racing and
or go to Europe. But this car, you could really see, like, if this came out, we'd all be like, damn, wait a minute, Genesis is cool.
Yes, totally. 100%.
And then they come out with that GV90, the big boy, we have.
Well, the GV90, excuse me.
The GV90.
The SUV.
Yeah. That's like a range competitor.
Yeah.
He's over here, I want a full-size range. Not anymore. GV90. You want a GV90 and a wingback.
I do want a wingback.
You want to drive off the road like Tiger Woods.
That was a GV80.
I know.
Wow, a Tiger Woods reference. Tiger Woods has had some car incidents.
I think there's clearly enthusiasts that are helping spur the development line here. And to your point, not only do they enter new segments, but they're taking big swings. Even the like Palisade is like, it's pretty gutsy in terms of the styling. This is gutsy. This looks like something Steve Hamilton would get upset that the production is delayed for. Like it looks like a hypercar, not a supercar.
I agree with that. And the Palisade is gutsy. Hyundai and Kia both kind of saw this market segment for these boxy vehicles. The other automakers were like, oh, we're going to maybe try to add a little boxy touch. And Hyundai and Kia were like, we're just going to do it. And as Toyota and Honda and Nissan have kind of sat on the sidelines, like hoping to maybe do something, Hyundai and Kia have just been like, yeah, I'm I'm just going to go do it. And it's been incredibly successful. They've had an unbelievably successful 10 years or so.
Yep, and I'm excited for Genesis to like kind of develop their own identity, to develop sporty models, to do things that really appeal to enthusiasts, because going just like a little luxury hasn't really worked.
That's the one thing that Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis have not been able to really get after is enthusiasts. Like when I make a list of cars that I want and think about, varied countries and engine sizes, a Korean car never comes close. Like
what car since 2005 have you cared about?
The Tiburon.
Oh my God, most.
that make your list.
Well, no, a lot of performance cars. But in terms of Korean cars, they've never. The Stinger, which I owned and loved, is one of the very, very few. Like they do a great job of hitting very successful mainstream products, like the Telluride and the Palisade and the Tucson and so many others. The Ioniq 5. But going after enthusiasts is how you build like excitement beyond just like, oh, this is a nice luxury car. That's how we think of Lexus, and they sell a lot. But there's never been anybody excited about a Lexus. This car changes that.
Today's episode is brought to you by Project Motor Racing, the new title that captures the challenge, intensity, and full sensory overload of driving a real professional race car. If you love big-time motorsports, this is the one you've been waiting for. We've been loving it here at the Cars and Bits office. Project Motor Racing is coming to the PS5, Xbox Series X, Series S, and PC, and it blends more than 20 years of racing sim expertise into one unforgettable experience. You can race across eras with over 70 iconic cars across 13 classes, from Golden Age legends to today's fiercest machinery, all on 28 laser-scanned recreations of the world's greatest circuits. Jump into career mode and actually live the life of a pro driver, manage budgets, secure sponsors, buy your own cars, and feel the pressure of carrying an entire team on your shoulders. No scripted rivalries, no forced comeback moments, just your skill, your decisions, and the consequences that follow. And thanks to a brand new physics engine tested and approved by hundreds of real racing pros, every car delivers unmatched realism, precision, and control. Project Motor Racing is available now at Amazon, Walmart, Target, GameStop, Best Buy, and all major retailers. It is going to be my go-to gift for every racing enthusiast in my life this holiday season. Yeah, and the president of the Genesis brand and the chief creative officer is Luke van der Wolk.
Donker Volk.
Yeah, that.
Yes, the Murcielago designer and the Audi A2 designer.
Yeah.
Right. So he is obviously very much a car enthusiast. In the sense that he's pushing the brand in that direction.
Right. And clearly these are really they're very cool cars. I hope they both go into production. I wouldn't be surprised if neither go into production in this form, but we can hope, right?
Also a full lineup of
Thank you.
Genesis or Magma GT cars would be incredibly cool. Having a full lineup of 911 competitors that span it seems unlikely in the next short term, but it would be really cool to have somebody else.
They're still building out a whole brand, though. Remember, a full lineup of sports cars is a cool idea, would be cool. BMW makes 7 SUVs. Genesis right now has 2.5.
Which one are you counting?
The GV60.
Oh, you don't think it's an SUV?
Looks like a hatchback. The Ioniq 5 is a hatchback. You agree? The EV6 a hatchback. So GV60 by definition is a hatchback. It's the same car. It's just different style. You know what the thing is about the GV60 that really makes me think it's a hatchback? You can walk up to it with your face and unlock the door. You can't do that in an And when I think of an SUV, all right?
What do you mean with your face?
you
like your nose?
No, you set up, like, you know how your phone has like facial recognition? You got to watch my GV60 video, dude.
I can't wait.
I don't think you should watch a lot of my videos, but that one, you set up facial recognition.
I don't even know what the GV60 looks like.
You've seen them. They're around Encinitas.
No, I have not. Oh, I've seen them. Yeah.
You set up facial recognition, and then you walk up to the car and look at the door, and it unlocks. Anyway, that's why I don't think it's SUV. Give us our next news story, because there's a lot of good news. Look at that 993 back there. Beautiful.
We already talked a little bit about how Hyundai is somehow going from the Tiburon to the second most profitable automaker.
Think about that. Volkswagen. I want to underscore one thing here. Volkswagen has been trying to figure out the U.S. market, but also expanding globally for so many years. Hyundai was making this. The Tiburon ended 2004. I mean, what a glow up.
Yeah, it was rough.
As the owner of a early on South Korean product, the Kia Spectre that I own, it's incredible to see where they are now. So the Kia Spectre was great.
This is like going from a money shifted TTRS to an SLR.
Just
next
about.
Story.
All right, this is a mini G-Wagon.
Yeah, it is.
We've known that Mercedes is going to build a small version of the G-Wagon for a while. But finally, there are actual spy shots of it. It looks like a G-Wagon, but small.
Doesn't it look like a second generation Jeep Liberty? Pull up. Yeah, no, it does. Pull up.
I was gonna say GLB. Like it reminds me.
It does look like a GLB.
And a little Sex in the City came back, and that was like their Halo car.
You're going for second gen, so you're going for the Dodge Nitro version.
You don't think it looks like? Go back to the little G thing.
But the inside's a little nice.
Tell me that, dude. I think that just is a second gen Jeep Liberty.
It does look like a GLB. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna take a car. You gotta make it small.
Nicer, yeah, that second gen Jeep Liberty had one of the worst interiors.
Oh my god,
tough.
Can you go to
that whole Stellantis lineup? Then was just like the worst of the worst.
It wasn't Stellantis that won the record, to be clear.
Yeah, okay, it was Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge Ram, or whatever
it was.
CDJR,
Eagle.
Whatever. Yeah,
I like that they're testing 2 different wheels. That's smart.
That just looks like a regular Mercedes wheel. That wheel is the ugliest wheel I've ever seen in my entire life.
The rear door looks really small here. Like,
yeah,
this looks small.
It'll be a tight rear seat, certainly.
Like, look at that. Look at the like parking meter garbage thing behind it. Like,
right.
It looks way bigger. Or a van.
What is this? Is a Metris? It does look small. Honestly, what it looks to me like is a Jimny, and it almost looks Jimny sized.
It can't go that.
Maybe
small,
they're upset with Jimny body kits. Yeah, maybe they're upset with Jimny body kits continuing to steal all their G-Wagon sales.
I have to say, the rear bumper looks chunky.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with it. It just continues kind of the embarrassment of the G-Wagon line.
But that's what the customers want.
Yeah. No, for sure.
We did not call it an embarrassment. We did not.
Nope. G-Wagons are all over LA. This can be all over Riverside. Boom! All right, next story.
Shout out Riverside.
Okay, this is interesting. It has been announced, and by announced, I mean implied and perhaps leaked, but not actually announced, that Audi is going to do a G-Wagon rival based on Scout. The only reason I bring this up, and Volkswagen has some massive financial interest in Scout. Maybe they own them. I don't know.
They started them. They're owned by
They
Volkswagen
started
entirely.
them. Scout. We remember when Scout started.
They purchased
America.
They purchased them. I will say, by the way, the piece you haven't mentioned is Scout will build this model.
Okay.
It's not just co-developed by.
The only reason I'm bringing this up, I don't care about any of that because to me it's all pie in the sky BS. This is 2028 model year stuff. It does. What the reason I bring it up is because on this very podcast, the greatest automotive podcast in San Diego, we predicted that this would happen. Audi announced a few months ago, we're thinking about a G-Wagon rival. And we said, well, you know, it's interesting because they have Scout. I wonder if they'll match them up. And now here we are. If you want to get your forward-thinking, bleeding-edge automotive news,
that's us.
This is the pod. And also, we shill for that auction website. What is it? Carsandbids.com. We got all sorts of stuff going on here.
By the way, a few creators did some videos with the Scout prototypes. They look really cool.
Are you implying that one of them should have been me?
Well, I mean, going back to the conversation with Hoovy. No, but Forrest Auto Reviews, who we obviously love, did like a bunch of walkarounds.
Forrest, is it with the Scout? He's hanging out with the Scout?
I was a little jealous. I sent it to Sean, our producer, a little mad.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Filippo needs to go to this.
It looks really cool. And I think it'll be a really well-received product.
I agree, because the Scout looks really cool. And if this is all they do, it's a pretty appealing vehicle.
Would you rather this or the Lincoln Bronco?
Both.
Wow. I'm implying you have to choose.
I don't have to choose.
Okay. This will be an EV. The Lincoln Bronco would be a
Ranger Center EV.
Here's what I
gas
want.
car.
Here's what I want.
ICE.
I want a Lincoln Bronco.
Okay.
With a V8.
Everyone wants a V8. Everyone wants a full-size range.
I have a question for you. What do you think the Seat version of Audi's luxury SUV will be called a generation later?
And the reason for that is that none of these cars are allowed in Europe. And you're thinking, what is the reason? They're electric. Europe loves electric. I don't know, but Europe will come up with some reason why these cars are banned.
Nick, are you familiar with the Seat Xio?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm expecting this to continue.
It was the B7 Audi
with a slightly different front end.
After it went out of production.
You still see them in Spain.
You see them?
Oh, you go to Spain, you see every Seat that's ever existed, including stuff from like the 70s. And they are attractive. And I actually think you should consider importing one. You know what would be a real play? Import a Seat Xao, but then swap in an RS4 drivetrain. You just blow the minds of every Volkswagen Group person.
Not legal yet, but soon.
The RS4 is so much better looking though.
You think so? Go back to it. Go back to the XAO. You don't like that?
Compared to an RS4?
The B7.
Compared to an A4, maybe.
I'm going to go on record and say the following thing. The B7 is one of the most attractive luxury cars ever built.
That's why I've had 3 of them, and I plan to get a 4th.
I didn't know there even was a sedan. I truly didn't know that. Wow. I've only ever seen this.
There was a sedan. The sedan
sedan doesn't look as good.
No.
Like a Mercury.
Mercury.
Huh.
Go to pull up a B7A4.
Seat was kind of the Mercury of the gang, wasn't it? It was
No, they were supposed to be like sporty and fun.
Yeah.
They're still doing it. They're still around.
We're going to go to our
Oh, okay,
yeah.
We sell B7A4?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God, only convertibles. Get out of the convertible. I
No,
wanna see if-
we've sold
Look
it.
at that.
Look at that Avant. Let's look at an Avant.
Oh, yeah.
These are great looking
S-line
cars.
wheels.
These were
Man,
great looking.
That's
What
an
a car.
08, yeah.
Okay, move on to our next news story, please.
All right, let's.
Oh God.
All right, this is a Nissan Xterra.
Yeah.
You're familiar.
Yep.
We've known for a while that Nissan is planning on building a new version of the Xterra. In an interview this past week, the person in charge of the project said that they know they need to keep it affordable and simple and rugged. So they've said that they're targeting under $40,000. They're not planning on doing any real luxuries or like crazy features. It's intended to be simple.
Yeah.
2-speed transfer case. Off-road ready, modification ready. They've made pretty clear that they're building it knowing that there will be lift kits, et cetera, that they may produce themselves. But it'll be like a real body on frame, simple SUV. The Pathfinder will also be body on frame in future generations, and will probably be a little bit larger and maybe a little bit more luxurious, which was always the case with the Xterra Pathfinder car.
All right, I'm going to just tell you right now what it's going to be.
Yeah.
The Frontier starts at 32. The Tacoma starts at 31.6. The 4Runner starts at 41.3.
It's going to start at 39,999.
Yeah, because the difference between the Frontier and the Tacoma is the Frontier no longer has a 4-cylinder, right? The Frontier is V6 only. So the Frontier is a little more expensive base, but the Tacoma is a worse. So you get, they're going to undercut the 4Runner and base it on the Frontier, and that's the way that they should do it. And it's probably the way they should have been doing it for the last 15 years.
Yep. But I'm glad they're finally understanding their audience. Yeah, maybe.
Do you agree that leaving the, we've said it on the pod many times, and I'm going to say it again because I really like to underscore it. You agree that not having the Xterra in the product lineup for the last 15 years is the single largest product planning mistake in the entire car industry of our lifetimes?
No, that's a really high bar.
What you got then? What you got? Volt going all EV? That's a tough one.
The
But they didn't know.
BZ4X being the only EV that the most profitable
we got a
automaker
good
offers.
question about that this week. Someone wrote in a question and said, wasn't the BZ4X the right decision because now the market has totally turned on EVs and Toyota basically put no development effort into it?
Maybe you're not wrong. Honda's made some errors.
Jaguar's current lineup,
All of it.
or lack thereof, is a pretty bad one.
Yeah, but what could they have done better?
Chevy not having a Raptor version of everything right out the gate
To
and
this
sleeping
day,
on that.
To this day, the Trail Boss,
Yep.
the Trail Middle Management. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like the Raptor is what the Raptor kicks butt.
By the way, one more off-road story.
Yeah.
Hyundai, because we were talking about them earlier, has XRT as a brand.
Yeah.
Like the Ioniq 5 XRT is the off-road version.
Yeah.
They've also committed to going way deeper on XRT.
Well,
making
yeah.
it- I think they've said 100 times more off-road ready than their current lineup.
Let me tell you something.
Everybody's
Hyundai
going
coming
that
out
way.
with that Crater concept car, announcing they're building a body-on-frame truck, and saying they're going to go deeper on XRT. We were just talking about how Hyundai doesn't make talk. Hyundai does.
They do.
They're going to do. 5 years from now, Hyundai will have real off-road products.
And Nissan might not be here. Your Sunday video on Infinity, I thought I've heard that argument from other people, including you on this pod, but that put it all together in a way that was like, holy crap, they are screwed.
That like even if they were building good cars, the
fact
brand
that-
is so damaged.
Yeah, Nissan's so damaged that how could a luxury version of Nissan do it? It can't.
The idea that they think that they even have the space for a luxury brand at this point is like let's focus on the core. Like when Ford, remember when Ford had 18 brands, and then they were like, actually we're kind of failing with even the main ones, so let's get rid of those other ones.
Correctly so. But basically, everybody's going off-roader. Mini G-Wagon, the Audi
it's so much
off-roader,
what we
the
talk
Scout, the Xterra,
The
XRT.
Crater.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Thanks to Fabletics for sponsoring this episode. The holidays are coming, and Fabletics' best-selling onesies and activewear are back. I've been loving the training day tee. The fit is amazing, the fabric feels so soft, and it's built for action with sweat-wicking material and no-slip design. I've been wearing it everywhere, the gym, on hikes, even out on the tennis court, and it just works. Features like zip pockets and thoughtful details make it both functional and comfortable, so you can move freely without worrying about your gear. And what I really love about Fabletics is the VIP program. Signing up gets you an incredible intro offer, 70 to 80% off the entire site. Plus, you save up to 50% daily as a VIP member. Each month, you get 1 credit for a 2-piece outfit or any product up to $100. And the membership is flexible. You can skip any month between the 1st and the 5th without being charged. VIP perks also include early access to styles, exclusive monthly drops, VIP-only sales, and free access to the Fit app. Right now, the Training Day tee is normally $59.95, but with VIP pricing, it's just $11.99. You can click the link below to sign up and get 70 to 80% off site-wide today. Your holiday wardrobe upgrade starts here.
Including our next news story.
Your favorite brand.
What a transition.
I was going to give this story, but you're the Porsche guy. Why don't you go?
Porsche is doing recommissions of their cars for rich people who have a Porsche and want to send it back to the factory for the factory to like change the color, change the wheels, change the interior. Like Carrera GTs were almost all silver. You couldn't order that level of personalization stuff back in the day, but now you can. So you can take your car back to Porsche and for an absurd amount of money, they will make it ugly. Which pretty much is exclusively what they've done.
That is not the news story, though. They've been doing that for a while. What is news is now you can recommission a fairly bland 957, which isn't the official designation.
It's a V8 manual.
I would actually argue the news story is that Porsche is in such dire financial straits that if a fellow writes in from the Middle East with a used car,
right?
He can send it to Stuttgart, and for $1 million, they'll make it in some special spec that honestly looks like a wrap. It looks like a wrap.
This does look like something we could do in a weekend.
It got some interior stuff, but
I'm sure it's got houndstooth lined glove boxes. It's a
give
me a break.
Manual SUV. We love that.
We
do love that.
It's a cool car. I think it's cool at 40-50.
Yep.
Would I send mine to Porsche? You know, the Carrera GT recoms are $1 million. I assume they didn't charge this guy but I guarantee it wasn't 50.
Even $100,000, let's say, like a 957. Really? That's what you're going to dump $100,000 into? Like,
it's cool, and I admire the dude for wanting to do it, and I admire Porsche for offering it for all their products. But like, company hurts for money and makes bizarre looking versions of existing. The reason I bring this up, especially about the recommissions, is some of the Carrera GT recommissions have been the most tasteless things that I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yep.
If you are the proud owner of one of these recommissions,
you aren't. If you can only be the owner, you can't be proud of what they've done.
Some of them like there was one in Oslo Blue that I got on a spot on Instagram about where they were like, it's collector grade, and I'm like, this is not good looking, and like it was repainted at a dealer in Houston. Like, how is that collector? In my world, that's just a badly modified car.
There's a difference between the recommissions, which are going to the factory, I think, and then what some other people are doing.
Now the dealers are getting into it. Like, it's a whole mess.
Some of the dealer recommissions I don't think look that bad. But some of the factory ones look like the factory is making fun of their customers. I truly think that. And I'm not going to call out anybody, but you got Google. Type in Carrera GT recommission. Some of them look good. So truly, some of them look good. Some of them...
A lot of them are this way. Like McLaren is redoing SLRs. And all the MSO McLaren edition, like the one that's going up on Mecum in January is like orange with black accents. I mean, it truly looks like the most...
Pull up an SLR.
Over the top.
I'm scared too.
Have you not seen this?
No,
it's like an SLR that looks like a modern day McLaren. And
they put like
weird,
that one. Or like Manny Koshbin.
No, do that one because you can see better.
That one's a fairly tasteful one.
That's as tame as they get. Some of them are really, really, really bad. That one's pretty nice, actually.
I think Singer kind of ruined this, where Singer did it pretty tastefully.
Yeah.
And now every manufacturer thinks like, oh, we can recommission our cars, and like they just don't have. That's that orange one. Oh, like. This is just
you know what this is? This is the kind of car where the manufacturer proudly posts it on Instagram and then they have to turn off comments.
Yeah, totally.
Or they only like the 4 comments that agree with them and send them to the
worst spec gets tagged in all of them, and they're like, crap, we got to turn this off.
Cayenne GTS recommission. Very interesting.
What SUV of this era would you recommission if you had $100,000 to let the factory go wild?
P38.
And turn it into a Dominator.
The factory that I would take it to is Toyota in San Antonio, and I would tell them, listen, take this car and make it run.
Add some camo.
I don't even want to change the exterior. Faded paint all over the hood, faded clear like all the P38s have. Don't mess with that. Just make it run.
They're going to need to swap in a 3.5 liter V6.
Yeah. Heck yeah. The greatest engine on the market.
Nope.
You don't think it is? What is?
Well, the non-hybrid 3.5 liter current Toyota truck V6 has had more
recall
after recall after recall.
Every time this comes up, I want to underscore this. everybody's like, they're going hybrid. They're ruining they're going a hybrid in the Toyota trucks V8 forever. And what motor has had the problems, Filippo? Is it the hybrid?
No. That's why I said the non-hybrid.
Zero.
Wow.
Next news story.
All right. Please.
One more. The F1 race was in Las Vegas, and as part of that, they also do a lot of auctions and stuff for rich people and car enthusiasts alike. So the new, not McLaren, the Gordon Murray designed S1 LM, I believe is the official moniker, went for just under $21 million, which is getting to about the price point of an actual F1. Although they transact so infrequently, but like it's the most expensive new car
at auction ever, right?
Ever.
I think ever, period.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. We saw it at the Quail. It's absolutely beautiful, and it definitely gives you the F1 vibes. It's like you copied the homework but changed a few things so that it wasn't obvious you were cheating, but like it's very cool. But 21 million is wild.
Dude. It's second year at Northwestern.
He's copied some papers and changed a few things here and there.
He was busy doing other pursuits, okay?
I was.
And he had to pay a kid.
Yep.
Anyway, the point is, $20 million, unbelievable, crazy number.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that has been interesting to me, more interesting, honestly, than the sale price, was that when these do you remember when this car was announced? They said that 5 were commissioned, and what did they say about the 5? Do you remember?
All sold.
All to the same guy.
They were all sold to the same guy. The story I have heard from some sources is that that guy has only retained one of the cars. In the end, his plan was to retain 5, but he has actually sold off the other 4, probably because the reception was so significant that he realized he could probably, it's like the developer who buys a bunch of lots, sells them all out, makes houses and then keeps one house for free. I bet you he did that. Or could have, if that's what his goal was. Like, I bet you he could have probably got 10 to 20 million for all of them and ended up with a free S1, which would you turn down a free S1?
No.
You don't go broke making a profit.
That's right.
Manny Coachman, that should be one of our news stories. Manny sold his mega church.
He did.
Folks,
for like double what he paid for it.
Folks, this is real hard-hitting news.
I will say that has been the talk of our friend group for the last week.
Manny!
All right, one more news story. We're going to move on.
Speaking of selling assets or getting them seized.
There's a lot of speaking of.
Speaking of baller buster appearances.
Okay, CLK GTR, which is this car here. There's a fellow who's Canadian, who was an Olympic snowboarder in the 2002 Winter Games. Remember where they were held?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake. Mitt Romney was there, your man.
I do remember Mitt.
And,
Drinking milk.
Well, probably. Yeah.
Eating hot dogs, his favorite food. That is not a joke.
Mitt Romney.
Interesting.
Do you remember, by the way, speaking of cars and Mitt Romney, do you remember when they asked Mitt Romney on the campaign trail what he drove? He was always dogged by these allegations that he was like too rich to like be a man. And so they asked him what he drove, and his response was, "Well, my wife, she's got a couple of Cadillacs." We just got Cadillacs everywhere. Anywho, guy was a snowboarder. Now he's killing people. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah. No, that's
going to be a great docuseries one day.
Yeah. And he killed some people in Canada, and he's
in the US.
He started a Mexican. He's part of the Mexican cartel, and my understanding of the Mexican cartel is you can kill people as long as it's kind of interrelated to drugs. But the moment you start killing people who are like randoms, the police are like,
they weren't really randoms.
The people he killed were randoms. He broke into his people broke into an Airbnb in Toronto and killed 2 elderly Indian people because they had the wrong house.
He also did have somebody killed who was going to be testifying against him.
The point is,
but
he is wanted for all these things. This car was seized because it was ill-gotten gains or something like that.
By the person that was in charge of cleaning the money. 13 million is what the feds are valuing the car at, which I assume is probably what the dude paid for it. But I mean, what a amazing car, right? You think of money launderers, like for one, this isn't exactly discreet. Like it's not the best way to hide money.
Just a CLK.
It is a good place.
Cool.
It is a good place to wash money, though. If you're trying to launder a lot of money, like there's not a lot of cars. One car. You don't have to do 20 cars. Maybe you could have bought the S1.
Yeah.
The interesting thing that I was thinking about this. So the feds seized this car as part of this whole thing. How do you think they drove it?
Right.
Do you agree they watched my video?
How else would they know how to turn the car on?
I mean,
how any of it worked?
The nice transporter that did the Mercy, they just put a tow hook in and winch it on. They don't even like have to start the car.
But if you, that's
Just
a good
put it
point.
in
That's a good
neutral.
point. But if you move the car anywhere, you have to figure out it is a manual transmission without a gear lever.
Yeah.
Do you know how to put it in?
No, I would have to go to
watch
YouTube as well. Yeah.
Feds, if you're the person that moved it out of a dealership showroom in Florida and watched Doug's video on it to learn, send us a message. We want to know.
Okay.
You ever seen a bunch of Copart videos where if the cars don't run, they just use a forklift and they just, it's like the most painful thing to watch. But
if the car's already rough, it's like when a car rolls down a hillside on like a canyon, the tow truck driver straps the thing to whatever hard point he can find and just drags it on up. You know?
Yeah, that's awful to watch. But
okay, I want to talk about the Talk Car segment. It's important. The Talk Car segment is brought to us by the Bear license plate.
A very nice gentleman in Canada who owns a small dealership had that plate traded in on a car.
Do you know about
this?
this?
Which was very kind of him.
I guess I'm going to find out.
The Northwest Territories.
Thank you to Stefan.
The Northwest Territories, which is a part of Canada. It's the Northwest Territories, very extreme northern Canada. Strangely, it's not in the Northwest. It's actually the North Central.
Yep. To be fair,
Ohio's the Midwest, but it's on Eastern time. None of that makes sense either.
Their license plate, in the 1970s, they had a contest for a new license plate, and a child designed a license plate shaped like a bear. And of course, a child designs it, so you dismiss it as unrealistic. But they didn't. And since 1973 or something, all Northwest Territories license plates have been shaped like a bear.
They don't have to make that many of them.
And so they're kind of cool. And
that is cool.
And so this one's here. This is an actual North. Now, one of my main goals in life is to see one on the road. And let's digress here.
Yeah.
So every day when I film my videos in the parking lot of the San Diego Zoo, which is one of the biggest tourist attractions in all of California. And after I film my video, I then drive down 2 or 3 rows of the zoo parking lot, hoping that someday I will see on a car one of these. And you see cars at the zoo parking lot I've seen Europe like frequently. But never a bear, even though I dream of it dearly.
You know that I have.
But Filippo, go ahead.
On a Nissan Titan XD, is driving through Vermont, and my Kia Spectra, as it were, and they were towing an Airstream and must have gone across Canada, maybe not to the U.S., across country. Saw a Nissan
Filippo
Titan
has seen one. Irrel. Dude, I'll tell you something. When I went to Niagara
I found
Falls,
the photo. It was great.
Time I went to Niagara Falls, I went crazy. People were like looking at the falls. I was like freaking out in the parking lots, like because like, you're gonna see one. You know, like that's Canada's like main event.
Yep.
Like that's where it's going to be. But I didn't.
If in 2014, 2015, you were driving through Vermont and your Northwest Territory plated Nissan Titan XD, send us a note.
Yeah.
Okay, I really do appreciate. Anyway, the Bear is sponsored. The Bear doesn't have a name, but the Bear is sponsoring this segment. And people are going to write it and say that Nunavut also has a bear-shaped license plate, and that is not true. The Talk Car segment, I want to start with the LX700H Overtrail. Filippo, why don't you give us a little background here?
All right. 6 months ago, a year ago, I don't know, Doug had an LX700H press car.
Yeah.
And he realized that he may have made a mistake in purchasing a Sequoia.
Yep.
Because the LX700H is a better vehicle in every way, except that it doesn't have camo, which is a detractor.
Yes.
We'll agree. Recently, I came back from Japan.
This is a big part of it.
I gifted Doug a little die-cast LX600H.
So Filippo goes to Japan and he comes back with a little gift for all of our friends.
Yeah.
And he gives Nick like a C8 Corvette. It's like the Hot Wheels. I don't know. He got one for all of us.
Something cool.
He got one for all of us. And he gives me this jackass. He gives me a new Lexus LX. And it just sent me down. I
regret it. I regret it deeply.
It's like a nightmare that you keep having recurring, and then it finally goes away, and then someone brings it up again. Honestly, it's like alcohol. It's like you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You go
Fell off the
AA,
wagon.
and then he's like, "Oh, here."
I thought it would be a little callback joke. I didn't expect that it would spiral.
So now I've spiraled.
Yeah.
I want it again. I want an LX. And there's been 2 interesting developments. One is I discovered the worst thing about the LX is the front end styling is so ugly that it's actually difficult to talk about it, I think, in public. Click on that picture. No. You got to do an Overtrail because it's actually worse.
I had a thought on this for you this morning, actually, which is I saw a black, it's a GX, not an LX, but on black, it looks less offensive.
I can't buy a black car. I don't want to keep a black
You're going to
car.
have to if you want this face.
Aha. So I discovered, because this has actually been something keeping me from doing it, I discovered that there is an outfit up in Northern California near Sacramento called Descent Off-Road who creates a entire bumper. Go to a better high-res, I'm sure we'll be able to pull one up and have it on the thing. But you should see, it takes away almost the entire front end. That. It takes away like the entire front end that's ugly. You literally only end up with half the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the BMW M3 bumpers.
Compared to this trash. And so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, that solved one of our problems. However, the second development, as I drove the Sequoia this week with my family, pets, everything involved, to Joshua Tree.
Oh, how was it?
Oh, thanks for the invite.
Yeah. There was a pickleball court at my Airbnb. We could have paddled. You know what?
We could have pickled.
I like that Sequoia.
It's a good truck.
Oh,
I think you're obviously insane. The LX700 doesn't gain you that much. Slightly better ride, maybe slightly nicer interior, maybe heated rear seat.
It gains a lot of stuff actually,
but it's
also it's shorter. It's a little bit smaller. I think you want that extra space.
Is crucial for me. That's one of the biggest reasons I want it.
Sequoia's not that big.
It's too big.
16 inches shorter than a Suburban.
It's big enough that no one in my family, including me, will drive it. Imagine. We're all like, nope. Like I'll be away. My wife, her family will come. There's seven of us. We're taking the Mercedes. We're going to cram into the third row because we hate driving the Sequoia that much. But here, this one's on portal axles, by the way.
For 120, never minding the mods. Have you thought you could get a 957 for like 20 and spend $100,000 recommissioning it, and
maybe you can get a third row as a result?
Oh, that's a good idea. Anyway, still want the LX700H. And the thing I like the most about it, no joke, is the powertrain. All these people are freaking out about the 5.7 V8, which is not a particularly reliable engine or an efficient one or a good one. The twin-turbo V6 in the new hybrid twin-turbo V6 in the Sequoia TRD Pro and the LX700H, I truly believe is one of the great engines on sale in any vehicle on the market.
Have the used values dropped at all, or you still got to buy them basically new?
For the Overtrails, they're dropping. There's not a lot of interest in them. But Sequoia TRD Pro sales are strong. By the way, part of this was I saw a couple other Sequoias when I was out there, TRD Pro Sequoias, and I was like looking at some of the mods, some of the vanity plates. I'm like, I got to get out of this car.
Did you go off-roading?
No.
What if you just sold the Sequoia and didn't replace it until next summer for Nantucket and just chilled and waited for those values to drop, but get out of the Sequoia before it gets bad?
I was thinking of, in the fall, sell the Sequoia and wait until the spring to get
the fall is in like month?
Next fall. So in fall of 26.
Wow.
And then for like 7 months not have a car. Have a 3-row.
Although you have the P38 if you need something just to get around.
Multiple.
That won't get me around.
It got me all the way to Mexico today.
I've been using Cash App a ton lately, and the thing that still blows me away is how ridiculously fast it was to set up. Faster than I used to make a footlong when I was a Subway sandwich artist, which was legitimately my first job. And honestly, after the last ad read mentioning that Subway experience, so many fans reached out asking about it. And I'm happy to talk all about it. It's wild how relatable that first job hustle is. And man, if I could have gotten my paycheck 2 days earlier back then, it would have been a total game changer. Making like $7.25 an hour and living on free cookies, early access to pay would have saved me big time. And real question, are you one of those people who requests money down to the exact cent? Because I absolutely am. If you owe me $6.13, I'm sending that request for $6.13. I am not rounding. It's who I am as a person. Cash App is more than just a safe way to send and receive money. With the Cash App card, you get tons of perks without hidden fees. Think early access to concert pre-sales like Kendrick Lamar and Sabrina Carpenter, plus discounts on everyday purchases at brands you're probably already spending your money on. It also keeps your money safe by automatically flagging suspicious transactions and letting you lock your card instantly if it's ever lost or stolen. For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code CashApp10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services are provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sun Bank, member FDIC. Discounts and promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Can we talk about the P38?
Sure.
So what happened? You got back from the mechanic.
Driving.
Okay, so yeah, I got it immediately. Was like, okay, let me just make sure it's safe because it rode pretty sketchy. And can you
define what that means?
Like it just like bounced all over the road.
Suspension, okay.
Like suspension related. Like something wasn't quite right. There was a few other things that I was just like, I want to get it checked out before I put my family in it.
Sure.
And the initial estimate came back $7,000.
Right.
Which is what the guy paid for it on Cars and Bids 2 years ago. So basically, it was free, but it needed $7,000 worth of work.
Right.
It's worth $7,000. It was mechanically total.
To be fair, that's true of every P38.
It is.
And honestly, $7,000 is light. Whatever mechanic you took it to gave you a sweetheart.
I don't think so. It wasn't anything major. It was death of 1,000 paper cuts. It's like, okay, it needs brakes. It needs
What do
a
you
valve
do?
gasket.
Yeah, it does not.
I
Nothing
did
major.
$5,000 worth of work on it.
Oh my
Nick!
4,800.
Oh my
4,800.
God.
Oh, that's better. That's better.
Yeah.
We're good. 4,800.
They gave
Sam
me-
is gonna lose it. You are out of your mind. You're insane.
What did you do? Did you say yes to the brakes or no to the brakes?
I'm doing the brakes myself because I found the brakes for $100 and we'll couple.
So what did
You're
you
gonna
do for
spend
$5,000?
hours
The
under
valve
this thing in your
gasket was the main
driveway?
thing.
Nick,
I'll do it in my garage.
Well, yeah, because the driveway's at an angle. That'd be problematic.
okay.
Hard to swap out
Rear
brakes.
rotors and calipers are
He's gonna
like
park his SLR
child's
on the,
play.
he's gonna park his SLR on the cul-de-sac and the street so that he can do a brake job on a free crap car.
Well, it's a $5,000.
I drove it all the way down to Mexico today.
Well, that's
to pick
not
up,
all the way, Nick. It's 20 minutes.
well, from
I did an international road trip in my P38.
from North County, that was a 40-mile drive. Not a single warning light.
Yeah, but you're not home yet.
No, but
You haven't done 50
no
miles
check
yet,
engine
which is when
light,
they
no
all turn
ABS
on.
light, no weird.
Have you done 50 miles? Because that's when it will turn on.
Nick,
Yeah, I've done 70
Oh, wow.
total. Yeah.
What
Champ.
did you? Okay, you did the valve cover gaskets suspension or no?
Yeah, they had to rebuild the whole front suspension. That was the main thing
does
that
the
caused it
climate
to ride
control
back.
work?
No. It also doesn't have a glove box. There's some
Look at
other
that.
issues.
Does it like otherwise run okay?
Runs great. And my son loves it. He calls it the monster truck. I plan to lift it, and we're gonna have a lot of.
God.
It'll be like the Hyundai Crater concept.
We're gonna rebuild the suspension. Okay. When
I
are you doing
can't
the
believe
brake?
you dropped 5 minutes. You learned nothing from the Arnage. What's the Arnage at, by the way?
It's at 18. I paid 18.5 for it, and then dumped another 17 grand into it. So I'm hoping there's a few more bidders out there.
The
but
Arnage, it's interesting because
Look at those pictures,
I
Michael.
know they're so good.
By the way, these pictures
Even
make
just-
it look better than it is. Don't buy this car.
Walking by it earlier before we filmed this, it is so beautiful.
It's a gorgeous car.
I've been coming in. I came into the office the other day. No one was here. I can't remember what for. Oh, I dropped off the Jeep.
Look at that thing.
And I pull in and I look at it. I'm like, damn.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Is the rear wheel smaller than the front? Are they?
No,
staggered?
they're all
It's
18.
a tire lighting
setup.
thing. It's cool. It's this car will be horrible for whoever buys
No,
it.
it'd be, for all the Arnages in the world, this is probably in the top 10%.
18 is already a radical overpayment. Oh, top
Not based on the comps.
chance. No chance.
I think they're all tough.
It's certainly in the upper half.
Well, that's because the lower half is literally junk.
Well, I bought it in the lower half, so I like to think I took it from like a 2 or 3 to like a
the
6
lower
or
half
7.
is junk cars and green labels, and even the nicest green label in the world is in the lower half.
Yeah,
and then
fair.
all the other ones are in the upper
It's
half.
such
by
a good
default.
looking
Look at
car.
that thing, man.
Man,
It's
how
a
did you make
gorgeous
it
car.
look so good?
I way overinvested. I mean, of that 17 grand or so I spent on it, like
A lot was cosmetic.
half of that was cosmetic.
Yeah, you did all the wood.
Yeah.
After Arnage ownership, $5,000 to fix a car. is
Right. It
free.
does, it
You know,
does
I gotta say-
screw up your whole system.
I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, damn, are we sure we want to get rid of
I mean,
this?
for $18,000,
it's finally
look at
right.
that.
It's finally right.
No.
Find me more presents for 18 grand.
I mean, Doug, you say it's finally right. Let's just look through some of the known flaws here.
Scratches
There's a
on
couple.
wheels.
I mean, come on.
Airbag light, ABS light.
What the front passenger window motor? You were never able to fix that?
The motor has like a short in it, and so they're like, you got to find a whole new motor. We can't rebuild it. So I took it out. I shipped it in to get rebuilt. They shipped it back. And then they were like, Mr. Rashawn, you've sent us so many window regulators to repair this one's on the house. We won't charge you, including the shipping. They paid back on their own dime. They just felt sorry for me at that point. I had done 3 window regulators on it. That was the 4th. And I didn't do them all at the same time. Each one was individually taken out and shipped to them at different points over the last year.
Because they all broke individually?
Yes.
So why didn't you fix this one?
So I needed to find a new motor or a new window regulator motor. They weren't on eBay, and I just
Gave up. At some point, you got to stop.
It still works. You just got to like tap the button a bunch of times instead of holding it down. It's like, okay, that's not.
Look at all these.
Are
all these
you-
pictures
I
are
know.
goo coming out of a check engine light.
No one has
on a-
ever tried harder to sell a car for less money. Like,
Well,
I
how are you responding to comments about this? I mean, we've been pretty clear about this.
as honest as I can. Someone asked, "Do I think it'll make it to Jersey?" And I'm like, "No guarantees."
No, you're Nick. The answer to that is no. Of course, it won't make.
It could.
Nick, the car broke down 4 times. You never took it out of North County.
No, it
I've
went
driven it
to Willow Springs once.
300-400 miles since the last time. You know, it's been to LA. It's Sean took it to LA around Beverly Hills and up to Angeles Crest to the that breakfast thing.
This is the high bidder.
There's a
The
current
high bidder
bidder
right now it seems like he'd be a good home because he likes a lot of
Also-
high maintenance British
And he's the guy who
European
bought my
vehicles.
NAS 90.
Yeah.
He was
And-
wonderful.
And he bid on my P38.
Yeah. And he bought this Alfa Romeo GTV.
You know,
There
I
are
got to
s-
tell you, this guy's bid history is what I
So
wish
cool.
my bid
I
history
know.
could be, but
Agreed.
I'm not ready for this.
I got to go bid on some more
We've
cars
got an
together.
MB412C in there. He
I
was
like that.
really wonderful, super nice guy, easy to deal with. You know, because the best thing about selling a car, the way a person can be is they never talk to you again. And he has actually reached out a bunch of times, but just to like send me pictures and never complain, which has been lovely. We were pretty upfront about that car.
There's certain types of enthusiasts that like a little pain. So after the P38, someone added me to an Instagram group called Rover Roulette. And this is the most unhinged group of human beings you've ever been around. I love it so much. But like suddenly I went from feeling like crazy Nick to like the most normal person in the group, you know? And I'm like, yes.
I remember one time I was in an L322 owners group on Facebook years ago because I had obviously an L322 for years. And I remember one time a guy came in, he had been added to the group, he knew nothing about the cars. He had bought an 03 to 05, which is the really rough one, and was starting to have the typical issues coolant with those cars have. And I'll never forget a guy who was really well known in the group replied and said, "Being stupid costs money." And it was like, damn.
Wow.
It's so true, and it's especially true in the Rover world. If you know what you're getting into, that's one thing.
Yeah.
If not, being stupid costs money. Filippo, last week on the pod, you told us that you were interested in buying a car.
Yeah.
This week on the pod, and by the way, this isn't one of those situations where you bought the car and you're going to
No,
Yeah,
I wish.
please
talk
God,
about
don't do
it
that
for
again.
weeks. You haven't bought a car yet. What's going on?
I am looking. I have been in deep negotiations with somebody selling a 991.
All right, what are you
based
looking
cabriolet.
for? You know, when
I put up a post.
when I said that I was looking for my 993, it was unbelievable
I
how
know.
many people reached out. They came out of the woodwork. Why
I
don't
was
you
hoping
tell
this.
everybody what
right.
you're looking for?
I am looking for a 991.1, so 2012 to 2015.
Yep.
Base
Base.
C2, so
C2.
the Carrera 2, cabriolet or coupe.
Cabriolet.
We live in Southern California, so cabriolet is great. For that, I actually think the coupe looks better. I think the 991 coupe is an
The whole thing about that
exceptionally
car,
looking
though, was that the cabriolet roof had the same.
it doesn't. We,
It does.
We can all agree that the coupe looks better.
No, this was the whole thing about the car. When I worked at Porsche, this was all they could say about it coming out. Oh, you know, the convertible.
The cabriolet looks great, but the coupe looks even better. Like the,
So either-
Click
either-
on that
either
picture
is
with
very
the roof
acceptable.
up. Click on that picture with the roof up.
Yeah.
It was supposed to have the same, and I think
Yeah, that
it
looks
generally
pretty good.
does.
But like the coupe is just such an attractive car, so I would consider either for that reason. Manual needs to be a manual.
Turbo?
No PDK.
Turbo
No.
S.
Like I said, a C2. Manual.
$65,000 budget Turbo S.
Okay, tell us
That's
what the number is.
Want to stay in the 60s, which is I think is like a realistic number.
When Filippo says 60s, what he means is 58 to 61, right?
Are we counting
am I
sales-
wrong? I mean,
sales
58 to
tax and
65.
Okay.
No,
fees?
no.
You get a Montana, right?
Yeah.
No, of course not. I register my cars in the state. where I
Oh,
live.
yeah.
We'll just do private party sale.
That would be ideal.
You're going to register in Tennessee? Okay,
So I'm legitimately looking. I'm negotiating with the person. I don't
Manual?
know if I'll buy that one or not, but
early 991. Who do we send it to? Oh, Sean, SEAN at carsandbids.com.
Or
if you have
Instagram
a manual,
DM me. I don't know.
manual early 991 C2.
Do not send it to me. I got so many 993 turbos over the last 2 months. I want no more. I'm not showing Doug anything.
DM me, email YouTube at carsandbids.com.
The day
Something like that.
the day that I was finally like shooting the video for the car, Nick sends a message to our group and he's like, "Damn it!" He's like, "Graham Rahal just listed an Arena Red 993 Turbo, and 20 people have already sent it to me."
But please help me find a car. Thanks.
Okay, but if someone does reach out with a nice manual 991.1 C2 at a 60 number,
I've been actively pursuing. Legitimately,
You will
I've had an
purchase the car.
incredibly long text chain with somebody selling one right now.
will you pick
We're
me on this?
negotiating.
You wasting someone's
Will you-
time does
I'm not
count
wasting
as
anybody's time.
being serious.
Yeah, right. Will you pinky me on this?
On what? What's the promise?
That if someone reaches out with a good So I'll exempt you from bad Carfax and that kind of stuff. You don't have to.
Any colors, like no black or silver?
I have no specific rules. There are some specs that I have not
Mileage
loved,
cap?
and so like that like cuts down the price
I
a little
gotta
bit.
tell
but
you,
it's okay.
I think a lot about that silver blue cab.
I know. It's
You
back
didn't
for
like
sale.
the look? It's for sale, the one we had?
Yeah, but it has some mods and some other issues.
So,
That one. Click on that.
I'll
That's
help-
back for
Which
sale?
one, sorry?
That.
Yeah.
I
it
will
is
help you
currently
take
for sale.
mods off.
Filippo. Look at that.
I don't love the
material.
spec.
It's so
That is
cool.
But
really
if we
cool.
can find something more like, I should have bought this 5 months ago.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
67.
I don't have a specific. I would prefer premium or premium plus packages. I would prefer.
Yeah, I'm not.
those.
I don't get into anything. I don't know what
I don't
that
have a
stuff is.
mileage cutoff at all. My plan is to drive this car a lot. and
Be
so I
careful,
don't
because
care.
the 993 turbos, I got ones with like 200,000 miles. So you've got to have some upper limit. 100,000?
We have a 991 live right now with 169,000
Holy
miles.
moly.
Wait, what's wrong with
Bid
this
on that
car?
one.
It's a 10.
It's a PDK.
It is in San Diego, though.
It is 169,000 miles.
Wow. You know, I'll
That'll
never
be an
forget.
interesting one to see where it lands.
I'll never
It's
forget.
a great daily driver. Hey, Sean, producer Sean, you want to buy this?
I'll never forget the day that I met Magnus Walker.
Uh-huh.
I was at an airport runway, and he was there too. And it was like one of those like race the cars on the runway things. And I think I'm Magnus Walker. I'm not a Porsche guy. I'm not gonna have anything to say to this guy. But we end up having the best. We hit it off, and we like chatted for hours. Loved Magnus Walker. I truly loved him. I thought he was great. You know what his daily was? Might still be. He had found a 991 turbo that someone had driven,
with a
and this
ton of
was
miles.
5 years ago.
Yep.
That someone had driven like 250,000 miles,
Crazy.
and he bought it for like not much because it was like the high. There were no comps, and that was his daily. And he was like, "I'm just trying to see what happens." I was like, "All right."
Crazy. It's in Carlsbad. If I were open to an PDK,
You shouldn't.
No, I
compromise
shouldn't.
on that.
I shouldn't.
PDK is a
But this is
fantastic
nice
transmission,
spec too.
but if you want a stick, you should get
I
a
do.
stick.
But this will be a deal because higher mile 991, early 991s with a PDK are worth notably less than the manuals. There's a real price difference, and this is probably in the 40s.
This is as high a mile as you're going to get.
Yep.
That silver blue, you need to buy. I'll kick in Nick and I'll kick in some cash.
Oh, yeah, how much?
I'll sell this on eBay, and whatever it pulls in,
We don't sell gifts.
And by him
I'm still
selling on
gifts that
eBay, he
he's given
means
me.
he'll make me sell it on eBay.
That's correct. True. It was on eBay. But please do DM me cars that are
991.1 stick.
That's it.
60K around. Well, you don't want a super low mile car. You don't want something
No,
to say
in the low 60s or below.
We want a reasonable car.
Yep.
You'll take non-colored crests in the center caps?
Yeah, I don't.
The same.
You know how life gets busy, and before you realize it, months have gone by without sharing any photos to the people you care about. That's why Aura has become one of my favorite gifts to give. It makes staying connected effortless, even when everyone's scattered across different states and schedules. I always end up with great photos from photo shoots of cars that I've driven, those silly little moments with Emily, and all of those are things my family actually wants to see. With Aura, I can send those photos straight to their frame from my phone instantly. Big events, small everyday stuff, it all shows up like I'm right there, back in Ohio, with them. And the setup is ridiculously easy. Unlimited free photos and videos. You just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. You can even preload photos before it ships, so the frame arrives full of memories. Add a personal message, drop it in the included gift box, done. It feels personal without any of the hassle. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. And for a limited time only, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best caregiver matte frames, voted #1 by Wirecutter, using the promo code CARS, C-A-R-S, at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code CARS. This exclusive Black Friday / Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so order now before it ends. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, I want to quickly do market report because we have to move on to questions which are fine this week. Fine.
Yeah.
They're just fine?
Yeah,
Just
they're just fine. Can we go? Can I start with my market report about the GLA45?
Oh, I love the GLA45.
GLA45, I think, is one of the most underrated cars in existence.
Now, is this an SUV or a hatchback based on your GV60
I'm going to make
discussion?
the point that it's a hatchback. People are out here.
I agree.
People are out here talking about hot hatches, and Mercedes marketed this as an SUV. But I've always been a big fan of don't look at marketing,
Give
look
me a
at
break.
dimensions. And this has 380 horsepower. It's four-wheel drive. It's dual clutch. Like, this is a Golf R, except a nicer interior. It's more frenetic to drive. It is an insane automobile. And this one just sold under $20,000.
And this has a bunch of WiseTech engineering parts,
Like
which
good-
is legitimate
good mods.
A
modification.
lot of these GLA45 seem to get modded up.
Yeah. Yep.
Meaning people are buying them as a hot hatch, not as a
Yeah.
get the kids to soccer practice.
I'm making this point today, but there are
Yeah.
people who have already realized this. You're right. Like, and honestly, I even like I'm not a big aftermarket wheel guy, but I like these. This car looks nice.
Yeah.
And 18,
I will say,
385
there
horsepower.
was there in other markets there was an A-class hatch that was just
Right.
this, but lower.
And we got the CLA45, which was
Yep.
essentially that, but as a sedan. But if you get past it's an SUV, it's not. And just look at what it is. It's
So
a
cool.
hot hatch with 380 horsepower.
355 stock, but nevertheless close.
Wasn't it 375?
355.
Go back.
I think there was a facelift in 17.
That upgraded the power because it got up to 375.
Yeah.
That's real. You know that's how much the F355 had. Kennon's F355.
Wow.
Yeah. In a little right.
350 pound-feet of torque. Wow.
That's a serious. Have you ever driven one?
No, but I would love to.
Hauls. And honestly, if you drive it hard, it feels like you're a Barth. It's like a frenetic, like
believe that.
crazy,
Rally,
tight
ready.
steering, like loud, kill you kind of car. It's like a Golf R, but cheaper and cooler.
Also, these AMG four-cylinders sound kind of cool.
They do sound kind of cool.
The GLB35 AMG, like the current 35 AMGs, sound good.
We
too.
all would prefer a V8, but in this segment, a four-cylinder is what you're going to get in every car, even
the real power.
Focus RS, the GR Corolla, etc. That's a three-cylinder. But you get the point. I like these things.
At that price point, that's pretty compelling.
Under 20.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm more of a QX30 fan myself.
If they had done a hot QX30, that would have been so cool.
There's a GLA, just Infiniti.
Did you know this? Infiniti made rebadged a Mercedes GLA for like 2 model years.
It looked better in some ways.
The interior is wild.
Looks fine anyways.
Because it's an Infiniti center cap on the steering wheel, and everything else is Mercedes-Benz.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
That's a good market where everybody should go out and buy one.
Go buy a GLA45, but only on Cars and Bids. Or somewhere else, I don't really care. But sell it on. All right, what's your market report?
I don't know. I've left my laptop over there.
The BMW Wagon.
Oh, yes. Pull up that BMW Wagon.
This isn't really a market topic.
No,
but it's so cool.
Unbelievable.
There is a Maserati Gran Turismo and/or Quattroporte 4.7 liter V8 in this. So they did the full M3 look on the outside. You would have thought they just put in an M3 motor, but no.
Which they
This
probably
is like
should have just done.
full on crazy with the 4.7. So, and what's beautiful about this car, the Ferrari badge is maybe questionable.
Ferrari
but
derived.
It is the Ferrari derived motor. It sounds really good. Like that was my favorite thing of the 4.7 and the Quattroporte was the sound, and then the flat plane crank versus the cross plane. It sounded slightly better in the Maserati version. Like this car is going to sound cool. It looks cool. I can't imagine how they got all this to work together.
Also,
Especially because it's a manual swap. That's the other crazy thing about it.
How?
Well,
Which didn't come in that Maserati.
right.
Yeah.
But the manual came from something weird. What was it? There was an explanation of where it came from. The
Nissan CD.
Wow.
it's a Nissan 6-speed manual. It's just, the whole thing
Wild.
is crazy. This car's in Massachusetts, and I've learned from my own friends in Massachusetts. This is what happens when you have winter.
You just
November
tinker.
comes,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, I can't drive anymore, so I got this BMW wagon. Why don't I swap a Maserati 4.7 and a Nissan 6-speed into it? And by spring, you have this car, but then you can no longer pass state inspection, so now it's on Cars and Bits.
It's such
So
a bonkers build in the best way possible.
Crazy.
Wild.
Crazy. I have
Love it.
literally no idea what it's going to sell for.
I don't either.
How
but
could anybody know?
like, it's definitely one of those cars where you're like at the right price, I'm a bidder. You know.
Why have you not bid
And
already?
I'm sure the cost to do this was astronomical. Like I don't. Maybe they get it back.
I
but,
wouldn't
like,
be surprised if it didn't cost that much. I bet you these motors are pretty easy to find.
motors
from
are findable, but just
From a time perspective, the labor. I mean, obviously he did it himself, but the time devoted to it must have been absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, just crazy to get it to be done.
Based on their bio, they are knowledgeable about this, right? They do motorsports CAD designing, like they're
Located
they
in
know what they're doing.
Massachusetts, but desperate to get out, like everybody in
Andy, if you're listening and you want to put a Maserati in a P38, let me know. DM Filippo.
Andy, you want to get out of Massachusetts? Come to Carlsbad or wherever the hell Nick lives and put a Maserati motor in his P38.
How cool would that be?
It'd be pretty cool.
I'd rather do like an LS or something a little more reliable.
Dude,
Right.
just put $5,000 into the existing vehicle, though.
I will accept any V8.
When you showed up with the car at the shop, did the shop say you cannot abandon this car at this shop.
They had other.
I was warned you preemptively.
I had been at that same shop a week before, and I picked up my wife in the SLR when she dropped off her Cayenne.
So they knew you were legit.
They knew I was legit, and I think they might have like rounded up a little here and there for it, but it's fine. Worth it.
Okay.
They did a good job.
Okay, we need to move on to questions. The questions are brought to you by the Northwest Territories bear license plate. It's so berry that it's shaped like a bear, and there is a bear in the toe.
Whoa.
Sean won't show me, but that's true. There's a bear on a bear. You ever see a bear on a bear?
Northwest Territories sounds like kind of a BS name for a state. They phoned it in.
Not a state, but I agree with you.
What do they call it in Canada?
Well, a territory, actually.
Oh.
They're generally called provinces, but they also have territories.
Yeah, province. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, but it's not. You know what? I'm going to move on.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Okay, if you want to ask us a question, this week's questions were not amazing. There were some good ones, but mostly they were not as good as I wish they were. So I'm going to tell you again how to ask. Go to carsandbids.com, click on the community tab, scroll down. There will be a post that says ask us questions, and then ask your question. I do not only choose the highest upvoted questions. I generally choose the most controversial, the sink your teeth in and scare us questions. And so that's what I'm looking for. Give us your good, if you have questions, give us good, feed us. Feed us. We don't know what to talk about.
We don't. We run out of ideas so quickly.
By the way, one thing I do want to say before we get into questions, speaking of the audience, you know, the 993 Turbo thing all started with that car model.
It did.
Huh. When over
so the
summer,
LX700 is happening, yeah. Right.
Over the summer or just at the end of the summer, some random viewer sent us, I took it home. Because now it's on my desk with my other cars. But some random viewer sent us a 993 Turbo car model. And I still don't have any idea who it was. And that kind of kicked it off.
That did. And now we have a real full-size one.
It's pretty wild. That literally is what happened.
God, that car looks so
And
good.
I still don't know who it was.
The pod has also willed a few cars into our existence. The SLR I asked for, the P38. So maybe Filippo opening up about the 991.1 will finally will it into Filippo's
Fingers
world.
crossed. Are your turbo twists hollow spoke?
My turbo twists are hollow spoke. They call them the technology wheels. I'm not a Porsche guy though.
Are they the original wheels, or are they off in a barn somewhere?
That's such a deep cut.
I'm not even gonna explain that one. Okay. First question from Quasi Brad. This is what we were talking about before. Is it appropriate to say Toyota was right to come out with the BZ4X? Obviously not a competitive car, but the market has switched away from EVs, and here Toyota is, having not developed a lot of money in EVs. Yeah.
No. You can still, you should have some pride. And having some pride as a company or a manufacturer means that you build good products. Yeah. And the BZ4X now is okay. They've now post-refresh.
Still not.
It's a little better.
No.
But it was not a competitive product. It was not a good showing. It was not a good reflection of what Toyota can do. And they should still be embarrassed by it. Now, not investing a ton in it, smart decision.
But that's strategic. It's like when Trump was like, not paying my taxes, that makes me smart. That's what Toyota did.
Just then don't build it, or build something.
They had to as a compliance car. You can't sell in California if you don't have any.
Well, and I mean, the Honda Prologue was another car that you ripped on.
Also mistake.
I see them around, and I think there's a lot of people that just like Hondas.
They were $199 a month.
Right. Well, they were cheap, but also people like, I like Hondas, I want an EV. This checks the two boxes I care about.
The BZ4 just was so mediocre. They did have to build one, but they could have done better without investing that much more. They had to do a lot of work to get to that point.
I completely agree with Quasi Brad's ethos. I think Toyota was brilliant. They could have built a good car, and they said, no, we don't think this is the right time for an EV. They built a bad car cheaply, and in the end, and that's why Toyota, #1 profitability, Hyundai, #2.
Was this brilliant, or was this just accidentally the right choice?
Well, Toyota has for years been announcing that they don't want to compete.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think there was some actual strategy to it. Toyota and the Trump administration have more in common than you might think at first blush.
I think that in the long term they'll regret it.
The head of Toyota wearing a Make America Great hat at a NASCAR event, I want to say.
He sure.
Is that true?
He sure did.
And like Halloween level.
It was.
This is why my Sequoia has camo fenders.
Yeah,
the guy himself.
Wild.
This guy said, "Why can't we make the whole car camo?" When I think of the person who is celebrating the camo fenders on my car, that is what I think of.
Well, you might be right. It is not a surprise.
Non-union labor sticking camo
he did
fenders
fit in
on
at that NASCAR race.
That's amazing. Okay, next question. This is a good question. I'll let Filippo take some of this. From Quasi Brad.
Oh.
Who is Blake? The
Sure.
co-founder of Cars and Bids.
He co-founded Cars and
Completely understand if he wants to stay out of the spotlight, but can you share anything about how you know him or his background? Blake is a shadowy figure. He recently had a CLK GTR seized from him. Filippo, tell us about Blake. Here is his profile.
Blake co-founded Cars and Bids with Doug. He just sold his GT4 RS. Cool guy. That's all he'd want the people to know.
But here's the thing about Blake. Blake was my co-founder. He changed my life. I've worked with a lot of people. As you might imagine, I'm not the easiest person to work with. And I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and Blake is probably the only person who I would ever start another business with. And he's just incredibly knowledgeable and incredibly easy to work with, and really, really a good operator. And he had the opportunity to exit when we took our investment 3 years ago, and so he's not around anymore. He doesn't have a role. He's moved on to other stuff where he's probably starting other businesses that are going to do great. But he had obviously a massive role. Without him, we couldn't have put this business together.
Yep.
And so he's never really been in public. The initial plan was that he would kind of come with me to events and do stuff like that, but the investment happened pretty quick, and he never, it didn't really happen. He's still kind of into cars. He kind of waxes and wanes with his car enthusiasm, but I think his first car was like a 300ZX or something.
Like that, yeah.
He was always into cars.
He had a 430. He had that Cayenne GT4 RS.
But his kids are like, he has a Bronco Raptor now. He like goes on off-road trips. He's got a green Panamera Sport Turismo, but his kids are kind of aging into that era where like there's a lot of parental, like teen era, where there's a lot of activities and stuff, and so he's kind of he's not around us. But we see him at Cars and Coffee. I don't know, once every month or two.
He's a close personal friend and a cool person who's very much not in the spotlight, although he probably deserves more of it.
He texts me every so often and gives me ideas.
And there's no chance he's listened to the podcast, so he'll never know.
That is 100%. I'd be shocked if he even knows we have a pod. Okay.
Number one automotive podcast, but hey.
Next question from Bruce L. This is a grammar question, and I love a good grammar question, and I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take it far. If you had a Nissan Leaf and bought two, would you have Leafs or Leaves? Folks, this is one of my pet peeves.
Yeah, same.
It's a proper noun. Okay, so it doesn't pluralize into leaves. It pluralizes into leafs. And same with Prius. Everybody's like, Prii. Prii. I'm the first person to think of that. Prii. Priuses. Next question.
Didn't Toyota put out a poll years ago?
I don't care what Toyota did.
Oh my gosh, they did a press release?
They did a press release about this.
I don't care what Toyota did.
They said that it's called, that a multiple Priuses is a Prii.
20% of Reddit thinks that it's could space of instead of could apostrophe VE.
Hey, I don't do that.
No, you went to Northwestern. I don't care what people think it is. I'm telling you what it is.
Apparently, dictionary.com updated Prius to reflect this in 2011. That's Prii. No, I agree with you. You don't.
It only got 25% of the votes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But there was a press release about this.
As someone who works in marketing, I can't tell you how much of marketing is just utter BS. Like, how many people had to sign off on that press release? And we're like, we got this great campaign activation. We're going to make people vote, and we're going to hit Gen Z.
And then
we're gonna...
PR sends it out to journalists, and I'm sure that made Autoblog, and it was a whole thing.
They were all patting themselves on the back.
It was just people creating stuff to do.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm proud of myself for 14 years later remembering that.
That's
nonetheless,
something.
The answer is Priuses. The answer is Leafs. The answer is if it's a proper noun, when you pluralize it, you just add an S. And by the way, you don't add an apostrophe.
No.
You know, one of the things that I think is the craziest, almost nobody on the internet thinks the plural of Ferrari is simply Ferraris. It's Ferrari apostrophe S. I don't know why they can't just put the S on there. They have to put an apostrophe, but you don't need it there. It's not for that.
There are places where it gets annoying. Genesises, like Genesis plural, gets annoying. But it's okay. It is what it is.
I'll tell you something else. From working in the industry, when I worked at Porsche, you never pluralized a model name. And when I write car names, I never pluralize.
Genesis is a manufacturer.
Genesis models is what you would say. When I worked at Porsche, you would never write a communication where you said Porsches. Never. You wrote Porsche models. And I guarantee other brands think that.
Yeah.
You will not find a press release, I promise you, from Mercedes-Benz that says Mercedes-Benzes. They would say Mercedes-Benz models. They want the name of the company to stand alone. And that's how, when I'm writing about cars, that's how I write about it. Yes?
What if Porsche corporate owned Porsche models? So would they say Porsche Porsche models.
Do you have any idea what he's talking about? Like, do we just?
It would be Porsche with an apostrophe S.
I think we move on.
To
What's
show
the
that
next
Porsche owns the Porsche.
Yeah, Porsche apostrophe S was okay because I mean you couldn't.
Right.
Ownership
belonging to Porsche.
ownership in English.
Porsche, it's like the Buffalo thing. Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's not like
Porsche,
that?
Porsches.
We're gonna.
The Porsche models belonging to Porsche.
We can't continue this. Okay, next question, and this is a good one, actually, from Kane720. Dear Doug, you always talk about how cars that are initially hated or disliked often become desirable over time. Do you think this will happen with the new Prelude? No. Next question from Britt.
That's not true. It will eventually cost this to be worth as much as a Civic.
I think it will be hated forever.
The Supra did it. The Supra somehow went from kind of hated to starting to ascend. I don't see this one.
At some point, all depreciation curves kind of equalize.
Yeah, but
It
it
says-
still
says-
won't be a desirable car. That's the real
It'll
problem.
be desirable in the same way that every Honda model is desirable-ish.
Right, as an affordable used car.
Reliable car.
So will it someday be beloved? Yes,
Yes.
by people who are trying to get to work. It will never be a car that like inspires passion.
Did you see that there are some dealers that are trying to charge like an
Dude,
ADM over sticker
yeah.
for Prelude?
That was happening with ID Buzz the first day.
But the ID Buzz was a desirable vehicle for the first day.
I agree. The dealers are really
the dealers are
stretching
trying to
the thing.
capitalize on like the 9 people who maybe aren't going to cross shop and are just going to do it. But within 40 minutes, they're 10 grand over right now. They're going to be 10 grand under in literally 40 minutes.
Yep.
When this podcast is live next week, they're going to be 10 grand under.
Once. Faster
dear
than the car
Doug-
goes 0 to 60.
Dear Doug, from Brick Lynn, since you enjoy the Countach, would you ever consider purchasing a Vizeta-Moroder V16T if one came up for sale? It has more camshafts, more cylinders, etc. No. Next question.
Why not?
Because it's not serviceable. One of the things I like, the Countach is actually kind of funny. Like it has this rep for being difficult to own, and I'm sure it is. Mine's been okay, but like there are people who can work on them, and the parts are pretty available. I'm actually shocked. We've never had parts finding trouble. The Vizeta-Moroder V16T.
Yeah, what's that based on?
I don't even know. I don't think anything.
I'm scared to Google it because I don't know how to spell.
Okay, next question from Mine Cutway 722. Doug, once
Good
you
username.
finally, once you finally,
722 in it.
I have no idea what any of those
Are you just
consonants
thinking?
were that he just said.
Are you just thinking of the
Like, it just
McLaren
sounded like
SLR
gibberish.
at 722?
Cat like walked over the keyboard as he was signing up for Cars and Bids.
once Doug has finally bought his 993, can he go through all the other available cars he passed on before making his move and comment on why he chose not to buy them? Filippo, why don't you go through this a little?
Yeah, do you want to send me a list? We'll go through one by one.
Well,
we'll just go
what
through
else-
your
Of Filippo's
DMs.
cars that he
What
didn't
else
buy?
did I think about? Is he talking? You think he's talking
No,
about specific 993s?
Why did you not buy
There
that
were a lot
specific
that
car?
came up, but I bought this car almost immediately after I started the whole thing. Like I started joking on the pod with the model car. I don't know when, probably in August. But I bought this car October 4.
Yeah.
So I passed on a lot of cars because I already had one and I didn't need two.
Can we give a quick shout out to one of our team members, Michael Criscuolo, who found it for you?
This guy Michael sends me a note. He's one of our team members.
He's one of the auction managers of Cars and Bids. If you're a
In
seller,
other words,
you
he's an
maybe work
employee
with
of the company. We call them team members so they feel better about
Are they
themselves.
family?
Some of these companies in there, like what do they call them at Disney? That's so ridiculous. Cast members.
members. Right.
So embarrassing.
Michael's
but
an
they
auction
feel
manager.
good about it.
We love Michael.
I do love Michael, especially because he sends me a message. I've been looking for 993 turbos, and I had found one that had odometer issues. And since then, others have come up with odometer issues, including some high-profile ones. And and so anyway, I found one that had odometer issues, and I was pretty dismayed. I don't like to buy cars that are really publicly available, like, advertised forever and all that. And he sends me this one, and he's like, hey, this VIN just populated on their DMS, on their back-end software, this dealership. I think they have one. They haven't posted it yet, but it's like starting to show up in their software. And that was all that I needed. And within an hour, I owned the car, and they never posted it on their website. It was a good situation.
Incredible strategy. Hey, Michael, work some magic on 991, please.
Yeah, Michael, we need a 991.1 manual.
Could I have just slacked you? Yeah, but it's better.
You think he watches?
Yes.
Oh, well, of course, because he knew about this. Okay.
There was a moment where you hadn't announced this, Kenan hadn't announced his SL65, and we had these secret cars that we couldn't talk about. It was
Right.
very frustrating.
You hadn't announced the SLR despite it being parked.
No,
there.
I I was being tongue-in-cheek about it, but sure. Everyone know.
Okay, here's a really good question from Gianni P. And Nick, I'll actually let you take this. Dear Doug, if you had made your big boy money when you were in your early 20s, what kind of irresponsible car enthusiast decisions would you have likely made?
Oh, good Lord.
That's a great question.
It's a great question. I started making decent money pretty early. I had a bunch of jobs and I was just working hustling like crazy. And I made a lot of mistakes even then. Bought rusty cars. I didn't know about rust. I didn't grow up in a place with rust. But you make those mistakes, and honestly, I think it really helps you learn about what to do later better. And also, I had to learn a lot about personal finance. Nobody I have ever known in my entire life is in sort of my financial situation. I had to really learn a lot of that stuff. And as a result of that, when I finally did get this big infusion of money when the business sold, I was prepared and I was smart with it. And it's in index funds and it's in bonds and a couple of crazy cars, but good value ones. However, if I had been in my 20s,
yeah, what would have happened?
What do you think? What would you have gotten?
Well, in my 20s, I was big into modding cars. And there were multiple cars where I spent more in modifications than the car was worth. So I absolutely I would have been the idiot recommissioning a 957, and for whatever reason, I had a mental barrier that selling a car and buying a car was too much. And that was a bad financial thing. You're supposed to hold on to your cars forever because that's what boomers, my parents
instilled in you in the Midwest.
They instilled that 4 years is the minimum increment in which you can keep a car. And so I would have just modded whatever I had when I got that money, regardless of whether it was a Ford Focus or...
What would you have gotten, though?
Let's see. And in my 20s, I was still big into Audi, so it probably it would have
been 2008.
Yeah.
Good time.
That was peak car. 2008 would have been a good time.
We would have screwed it up, too.
Mercy SV.
We should have bought an F40, but we would have bought dumb stuff.
He would have had an E60 M5.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we probably would have bought. Because I wasn't as into the older stuff, and I didn't know that we were living in this peak car era.
Yeah.
Would I have bought a Ford GT? I don't think so. I probably would have. I don't know. It's hard to know.
Nobody else did either.
If you had a lot of money in 08, you would have hoped that you would have bought an F40, an F50, et cetera.
I imagine it's a lot like the crypto and course seller dudes are now. They just sort of buy a McLaren or are they buying tasteful stuff? Probably not.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have had the wherewithal to put it together that I should. The good news is in 08 you could have dumb lucked into some pretty good stuff because the F430, the Scoot, all those cars which turned out to be special cars and good investments.
Agreed.
Probably would have had a G-Wagon. Probably would have bought a new Range.
Yeah.
For sure.
That would have been a smart decision. I support it.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking at the 05 to 09 cars that we have live right now. Viper SRT10, Arnage.
God, I don't know.
You know what I would have done?
Continental GT.
I would have taken an E90 BMW and put a Maserati.
You would have.
If I had unlimited money.
You would have.
Unlimited. Well, certainly is not unlimited monies, but you could have done it for that
What
amount.
You sold the company for, right?
Unlimited. That's how it works.
That's where Blake really is. He's out spending unlimited dollars.
Blake took all the damn money. Okay, that's our pod. Do you have anything you want to add? You're here. Go on Nick's YouTube
I'm going to steal Filippo's question that we didn't ask, which is, it's Thanksgiving tomorrow or yesterday, depending on when you're watching this. 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It was Thanksgiving at some point.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for?
Car-wise.
Filippo, you're not even an American, but we'll let you take this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you an American?
I'm an American citizen, yes.
Hell yeah.
Naturalized.
What was it like at the thing? Did you have to recite the pledge and all that?
You have to do a bunch of interviews. There is that I'm proud to be an American song that plays.
Do they teach you history? Do you have to tell them about history?
I had gone to school in the U.S. from third grade on. My understanding of American history was pretty decent.
What do you think about Thanksgiving as someone who's not a native-born American? Are you more proud about America or are you less proud?
Mostly, I'm just even more confused by Canadian Thanksgiving. Think about it. It's in October. What are they really celebrating?
They have things to give thanks. They're Canadian. They're thankful for everything.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you grateful for, Filippo?
Car-wise.
Or non, if you want.
Think about this. I'll ponder. You go ahead.
Doug goes first.
What I'm thankful for, I'll tell you this, is the German factory workers who created for us the 993 twin turbo.
Wow.
They gave us real specialness.
It's really a man of the people move for you to thank the factory workers, not the engineers. I'm glad. They need recognition.
The engineers, I'm not sure what they did. They put a lot of power in this thing that was created 20 years earlier. The factory workers are the ones who built the car. And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you this. I've been to that factory in Zuffenhausen and Stuttgart. You're thinking, where is it? Is it in Zuffenhausen or in Stuttgart? I don't know. I've been there. I still don't understand the difference. But it's the only place I ever saw a vending machine for cigarettes. And so God love those factory workers. Nick, what do you got?
I think I'm going to go with, since this is airing in the future, I'm grateful to whoever's taking the Arnage off my hands. I appreciate you. Please have fun with it. And best of luck.
Best of luck.
Only 3 days to go at time of film.
3 days to go. But honestly, I'm grateful for our friend group. I'll be serious here for a second. We have gotten into an unhealthy dynamic of enabling each other's worst decisions.
And peer pressuring.
However, this group, like, it's so amazing. And I'm considering the extended group, including people not always on the pod, but like in our orbit. It's so, even like Saturday, Cars and Coffee, like it was just such there's some stressful things going on outside of work, and it's just like, or outside of here. And it was just like good to hang out and chit chat and like just
the best.
It's wonderful.
It was wonderful. And Cars and Coffee, of course, goes from 8 to 10, and Filippo shows up at about 6:45 and leaves by 8:15. So it was nice to see him
go
there
for the
15.
solid 2 hours from 7:30 to 9:30.
Did you two even overlap?
Yes, briefly. I don't think I saw Nick, but we were there at the same time.
I agree with you. It is nice to have car enthusiast people, and if you're out there and you don't have car enthusiast people, we are proud that once a week we get to come and be your car enthusiast people for a little while.
Quite grateful.
When you're collaborating with the Avance people, which are trying to bring like car community to different cities, like it's a pretty cool concept.
Absolutely.
It's the best. I'll echo that. I mean, I just think it's so great to be part of, like, cars have been a part of my life forever. I've always been into cars, but they weren't part of my like day-to-day life.
Right.
A lot of my former coworkers have no clue that I'm into cars. My close friends do, but like it was kind of tangential to my relationship with them. And it's so cool to hear Cars and Bids and the office and then outside of office life that it's finally become a part of both my like professional and personal and friendship.
You're out
life.
here driving Virages for work.
Driving Virages for work. What more can you want?
I have this theory that I don't ever want to work anywhere where license plates aren't clanging. Like that distinctive sound, like everywhere I've worked, dealerships, the factory, the OE, the corporate office, and here, there's always something, and license plate, and that sound you only know if you're in the car business. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it may be the DMV, but I would work there too.
I would work. Imagine.
It'd be great.
You could set aside license plates for yourself and
Tournament of Roses plates. By the way, one thing I want to say about my 993, pull up the rear picture of Nick's Arnage here, one of the rear photos. Nick got his license plate, his Yosemite plate is one UBR 763. I ordered the Yosemite plates for my 993 and I got one UBR 910.
Wow.
If I had gotten one UBR 911, it would have looked like a Boomer vanity plate. One Uber 911. So I'm thrilled I didn't get it. But it was really close.
Yeah.
So close.
It's crazy that, I mean, these were months apart and like what?
They don't issue a lot of
150
Yosemite plates.
They should. It's a nice looking one.
It's the best looking.
Did you see my plate frame too?
Although there is now a
Very
San Francisco 49ers, we're going long. I don't know what we're doing here. There's now a San Francisco 49ers license plate.
Yeah.
You don't want to get into this? California, if you're a Niners fan like Nick is, you can go get a 49ers license plate. It's available. Go out there and pick one up. All
Faithful to State Park.
Faithful to State Parks.
By the way,
that's what every 49ers fan cheers.
Can we just point something out? In this image from the 49ers Foundation and from the DMV, 2022 sticker. Well, they've been holding on to this
that's
mock-up for a while.
It's not the 49ers' fault. It took California forever. The 49ers got the correct number of applications a year and a half ago, and it took them that long to simply place a logo on a license plate. California is so effed up. I'm done with it. All right, anyway, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Happy Thanksgiving.